Out of the hundreds of flips in NASCAR's history, most of these flips can be somewhat expected. At Daytona and Talladega, we usually see a flip or two at each of these tracks every year, so it's not a complete shock whenever we see a flip. However, at intermediate and short tracks, or even road courses, it's pretty rare to see an actual flip in modern NASCAR. Today, we're going to look at 10, in my opinion, of the most unexpected flips in NASCAR's history. If you find yourself coming back to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video, and we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers. If you enjoy, also make sure you leave a like, it really helps me out a lot. Anyway, let's get right into it.
Jimmy Spencer was the first car lined up on the inside, couldn't get a lap back.
Oh, trouble down here. Who is that? Is that the 26
It
already?
is. Nemechek.
Oh, no, a car just turned down. One car just turned over. It's upside down on the back straightaway.
It's Michael.
Holy cow, what is he doing?
He slammed into Nemechek, Darrell, and that flip turned the car right over. Look at how he hit him with the right front.
Well, he needs to get out of there.
On an early restart at Texas, Lyndon Nemechek lost it all on his own. After making hard contact with the outside wall, he slid down the track. Michael Waltrip was one of 3 cars sliding on the inside of Nemechek, attempting to miss the crash, but Michael's right front just barely clipped the nose of Nemechek's car and turned Waltrip upside down. Michael Waltrip Racing was in its infancy in the Busch Series, and Waltrip was actually able to win a race in each season from 2002 to 2004. Despite hiring plenty of talented drivers, David Rudiman was the first driver to win a Busch Series race for MWR that wasn't Michael Waltrip. He was also the first to win a race for the team in the Cup Series just a couple of years later.
Flag flies once again. Haley, not a great restart here as Ryan C gets off to a good start, and now they're 4 wide going into 1.
That's it.
Oh, and around goes the 7, hard into the outside wall.
Buddy, hang on, hang on.
On the apron, the 21 of Anthony Alfredo was into the wall hard. He's upside down, sliding through 1 and 2.
In a wild late race restart at Kansas, Justin Allgaier made a daring move that was just never going to work. He made it 4 wide running on the apron, and unsurprisingly swept up the track and took out several other drivers. Anthony Alfredo went up the track and had a huge hit with the outside wall, and was also hit by Riley Herbst. All of these factors turned Alfredo onto his side, and eventually he rolled onto his roof. 2020 was a terrible year for RCR in the Xfinity Series after Tyler Reddick's 6-win championship run in 2019. Alfredo, Myatt Snider, and Kaz Grala combined for 5 top 5s throughout the entire season.
Whoa, there he goes.
Oh, Bickles around, and Earnhardt got him, and up and over goes the 21 of Quaple.
Another Richard Childress car, and this one is upside down.
9th caution, lap 183, so close to the finish.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Rich Bickle made contact fighting for a spot inside the top 10 on the exit of turn 2. Bickle completely lost it and spun around into the outside wall. Travis Quaple was already up there, had nowhere to go, and ramped over Bickle's car and slid hundreds of feet on his roof. This was actually Quaple's debut in the Busch Series, racing for RCR. Despite getting this one-off race, Quaple wouldn't get a shot outside of the Truck Series again until 2004, whenever he had a 3-race stint for Penske in the Cup Series. Despite racing almost 200 races in the Truck Series and over 250 races in the Cup Series, Travis only made 13 career starts in the Busch Series, 8 of which were in 2016 at the end of his career.
Lost that clean air. Oh, a big wreck. Huge contact.
48 is involved. That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now up and over goes the 27. So Jeff Burton sliding on top.
Somebody's going to get you. All right, just hold tight right here. This will take a minute here. You all good there?
After a big wreck broke out at Pocono, Jeb Burton attempted to squeeze between the pit road wall and the melee to avoid the wreck. Unfortunately for him, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was flying down the track directly in his path. Burton's car smashed between the pit wall and Stenhouse's car, popped up in the air, and rolled over. Burton endured an absolutely miserable 2022 season where he didn't score a single top 10 finish. His teammate Brett Moffitt, in only 20 races, scored 4 top 10s.
Oh, Suarez! Briscoe got into the back of Suarez, and he gets pounded.
Dang it.
Oh,
Buscher's upside down. I think he hooked a drain.
This seemed to be a routine multi-car pileup initially, but as soon as it seemed like the wreck was over, Chris Buescher was sliding through the infield with minimal damage. Out of nowhere, his right front wheel was squeezed between the grass and his car's underbody, and his car popped up and he went tumbling through the infield. Since this wreck, Buescher's career has come to life. In the 44 races since this crash, Buescher had 7 top 5 finishes, which matches the number of top 5s he had in his first 226 races.
Yeah, I think Ricky Rudd just got headed out, and Mark Martin's on his roof. And here goes a tire down the racetrack.
Mark Martin's car has overturned.
There's Mark Martin down the car. Get away from the racetrack, boy. Well, yeah, but he'd like to turn that thing back over. He said, I bet it'll run if I can get it turned back over and get it back to the pits, and it might just do it.
During a caution in the 1989 Banquet 300, Mark Martin came in for a splash of fuel. However, there was a miscommunication with his team, and one of his tire changers started to take lug nuts off of his right rear. Martin sped off, and as he did, his right rear came off. His car was sent spinning, and he clipped a tire barrier and flipped his car onto the roof. In 1989, Mark scored his first Cup Series win, and in typical Mark Martin fashion, he scored 6 poles and 10 top 3 finishes that year alone before getting his first win in the 27th race of the season.
So Joey Logano. Oh, a big crash along the front straightaway, including Stenhouse in 62 of Brendan Gaughan, the 15 of Michael Annett. So the caution comes out again. Oh, no. It'll be our 10th.
At first, it seemed like a routine multi-car pileup late in the going at Nashville. Upon further investigation, it was clear Nemechek had gone upside down. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. seemingly just turned Joe upside down on the front stretch. Joe slid on his hood for only about a second before rolling back onto all fours and driving away. Amazingly, Joe completed another 3 laps under caution before he retired the car.
Also tell you that the 37 car of Jeremy Mayfield.
Oh my goodness, what's wrong through?
Big crash, a car upside down here on the main straightaway.
Keep going, it's here, keep going.
I believe.
And the track looks to be blocked. Well, there is one lane, and cars are going by there. There's Brett Bodine's involved.
Bobby Hamilton, Derek Cope.
After getting tagged by Michael Waltrip, Derek Cope went straight up the track into the side of David Green. Green was immediately forced onto his side, and he rode the wall until the entrance of Turn 1, whenever he flipped back onto his wheels. The 1994 Busch Series champion's debut season in the Cup Series did not go as planned. He had 5 DNQs throughout the season and not a single top 10 finish. After he and Buzz McCall nearly won the 96 Busch Series championship together, they opted to go Cup racing, but the risk didn't pay off.
Casey Mears, gets tagged
and nowhere
hard.
for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to go in that 88 car.
2 more cars hard in the wall behind them. One is Hornish.
Someone has run underneath the 5 car, it looks
The
like.
other's Reed Sorensen, and Mears ends up on his roof.
Sam Hornish in the 77, because I knew the car just picked up off the ground all of a sudden.
What felt like a minute after the crash ended, Sam Hornish Jr. plowed into the back of Casey Mears and flipped him upside down. Casey started the crash by losing it on the high side of Turn 2 and came down the track directly into the path of teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. More cars piled in, including Hornish. After 2008, Rick Hendrick finally had enough of Mears underperforming. So Casey had the chance to drive for Chip Ganassi, Hendrick Motorsports, and then RCR in 2009, and was never able to deliver.
Oh, Briscoe gets loose. Austin Wayne Self around. Heavy contact with the 99 of Peters, up and over.
Austin Wayne Self was running an impressive race in the top 5, but threw it all away coming to the white flag. He tried to save his truck, but ended up collecting Timothy Peters. Peters lost his right front wheel after it dug into the grass, his truck then spun around, and then the left side of his truck dug into the infield grass. Peters landed on his roof and spun several more times before finally coming to rest. After Red Horse Racing dissolved in 2017, Peters was left scrambling to find a ride. Since then, Peters won a race with Gallagher Motorsports, but bounced around half a dozen teams over the next couple of years, despite being an 11-time winner in the series. Anyway guys, that's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.